Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Dumpster Cam. I am coming at you today with another dining from the dumpster video where I make recipes only using items I have found for free while dumpster diving at grocery store trash bins. In this video you will not see me dumpster diving, you won't see any hauls. This is solely going to be me using items that I have found doing so and then showing you the recipes and the food that I come up with. So everything in this video will be free. It will all be from the trash. I live in Michigan, so it still has been fairly decent temperature, at least when this video has started, to continue dumpster diving for some fresh items still. But yes, I have lots of great recipes to share with you this go around. And we're actually starting off strong right off the bat here. I found this whole pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts from the Aldi dumpster a few days ago, and I want to utilize it before it inevitably goes bad. But I don't particularly like just like cooking chicken, and I don't eat it super often, but I don't want it to go to waste. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I got myself a pressure canner and some extra jars just because if I end up liking it, then I'm going to do more. So I got a pressure canner, which is the only safe way to can meat, and I'm going to try my hand at this. Again, like I've said, I've never done this before, but I'm going to cut this up into little cubes and shove it in the jars, and I've read up in this little manual it had, but I will let you guys know how it goes, and hopefully it ends up working out well, so stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. I'm starting with 6 jars just to test it out and see how it goes. That was about 2 and a little more breasts of chicken. I took out all the fat and tendons and stuff and all the gross parts. And I'm left with this. I did half-pint jars because since it's just me, I thought it would make more sense to just be able to open up one half-pint jar at a time. Obviously, chicken is not something that you want to play with. You can get very sick from eating bad chicken. And I know a lot of people are probably going to absolutely detest dumpster diving for chicken. And I understand it's not for everybody. However, I have never gotten sick while dumpster diving for food. And I don't have any way to tell that this wasn't sitting out in the store. I don't. There's no surefire way. However, it's pink. It looks good, it feels good, and it has no smell whatsoever. Chicken has a very distinct smell when it's bad. So obviously if it smelled like that when I opened the package, I would have just thrown it away. I've done it many times. Like I said, it's just not something you want to mess with. But I have my 6 half-pint jars, and then I have 3 quarts of hot water in my canner. And then I'm just going to put these in here. This can hold up to 12 half-pint jars, I think it said. So we're just doing like a half a batch. And then the rest of this, guys, I'm going to have to read up on the instructions. So I'll just kind of update you as the process goes on. But they're going in. It took a little while, but the pop came up, which means it's locked. And the pressure thing started rocking, which means we're good to go. I think I'm going to turn the heat down maybe just a little bit so it slows a smidge. It said slow and steady, so I don't know. But here we are. I'm going to leave it in about an hour, maybe 65 minutes, and then let it cool down from there. Okay, I'm back with the finished product, and all of this liquid comes from the chicken itself. I did see that when I was looking up how to do that, or how to do this. I think it's good. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't really know. I mean, it was in there for quite a while. So I'll have to try one and let you guys know. I was very nervous. I don't know why, but I opened one up and I tried a tiny little piece. It smells really good and it tastes really good. The texture is really nice. It's really great, actually. All I put in here was some salt so that I can kind of match it to whatever recipe I'm making. But it's great. It's actually quite flavorful just the way it is. So this one I will put in the fridge, but the book said that they'll be good for up to 3 years, so that's crazy to me. But I would definitely recommend doing this. It was a fun process. It's an early work morning for me, so my next free food recipe, but not a recipe, just a meal, is breakfast, and I'm just having a bowl of these Honey Crunch and Oats with sliced up banana on top and some of the dairy pure lactose-free milk that I found. So, super tasty. Alright, this next meal, I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to turn out. I'm going to try to make nachos, but they're going to be like loaded, delicious, awesome nachos, hopefully. So I'm starting right here. I just have some of the peppers and onions that I froze a while ago, sauteing, warming up, cooking a bit. And over here I have about half, maybe a little less, of this Black Angus chuck roast that I found. I cooked it up. I just had it in the crock pot. And I'm going to try to shred that, so they're going to be beef nachos. And then I'm going to make a cheese sauce and have tons of toppings, and I will update you all with that. But for right now, this is what we are starting with. Here's the peppers, onions, and beef that I have ready for the nachos. But moving on to the next step, I have about 2 tablespoons of butter from the Aldi dumpster melting. And then once that's melted, into that I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour, whisk that all together, and then after that I'm going to add in 1 cup of milk and half a cup of shredded cheese. As you can see, I'm kind of running down to the end of my bag here, and I don't find cheese very often, but that's okay. All into here, whisk it all together, and it should make like a nacho cheese sauce, but I'm also going to add some jalapenos as well, and I'm hoping that this turns out, so we'll see. Progress on the cheese sauce, and it's working. This is actually something I've never done before, so super fun. Like I said, I just melted the 2 tablespoons of butter, whisked in the 2 tablespoons of flour, whisked in the cup of milk for, I don't know, a minute or 2, and now I just put in the jalapenos and the cheese, and this is great. So I'm going to put this on super low while I construct everything, and then I will show you the finished delicious product with all of my toppings. Here's the finished product of this meal, and I can already tell you I'm going to enjoy this. Nachos are great, and this is exactly what I was imagining when I made this. So I told you everything of the main things. I have extra sauce that I can use for something else in the future. On top, I put some of the sliced up olives that I found, a scoop of sour cream, a scoop of salsa, just a little bit of this lettuce that came from this Italian salad bag. And then I used both of these bags of chips. They're small bags. This one's nacho chipotle, and these ones are spicy guacamole, and these ones are delicious. I tried one because I've never had them before. But all of that plus the cheese sauce that I showed you, the onions, peppers, beef. Yeah, super great. Loaded nachos. Next up, we have a little prep before I can do anything with it. I am making another broth because the one that I made a while ago in the first episode, I used it for so much, and I got so much use out of it, and made delicious things with it that I basically have to do it again. And it's so easy, and again, free, and really anybody can do this for free or with just scraps. So in this one, I'm using my celery to stir right now, but I have a lot of mushrooms. I want to say 5 or 6 packs of mushrooms, a pack of mixed greens that had seen better days, 3 onions, celery, as you can see, just the leafy heads and then the butt. And then in here as well is some of the leftover beef from the nachos that I made just 2 days ago for me, the ones that you guys saw in this video. So this one's going to be a little bit more of like a meaty, deeper flavor than the other one because of the mushrooms and the beef in here. So there's that. It's coming to a boil right now. Then I'll just let it simmer for an hour or 2. And then over here in my dehydrator, I have some kale on top, and then I have mustard greens and turnip greens in the ones down below. And I am dehydrating these, and I thought this was a great plan because oftentimes I use these greens just to put in smoothies. So instead of not being able to utilize them because my freezer is full, I thought I would dehydrate them and then grind them up. So these are some turnip greens that I have already started to grind up, and then I'll just be able to take a scoop of this and put it in my smoothie. So we're making some green powder. Broth is finished. I let it boil for just a minute or two, and then I put it down to a simmer for about an hour and a half. And it smells so delicious. It's so dark and rich. And again, I filled up this giant jar. I have to measure it one day because this thing is giant. Ginormous. Here's all the scraps. These will all go into the compost. I already picked out the beef. And these will just go out into my compost. Delicious. Next up, I am going to make some jalapeno poppers. These are going to be really basic. I was going to put chicken in them, but then I decided that doesn't really sound good. So I'm not going to put chicken in them, but you definitely can. You just put raw chicken in with the cheese, excuse me, and cook it for about 30 minutes all together. But what I'm going to do is I took my jalapenos, all of them, so 5 total. I gutted them. I'm just going to put some of this white cheddar cheese that I found a while ago, so I'm coming kind of to the end of it. And everybody gets 2 of those, like that. And then, you know, the basic stuff, I'm just going to take one of these strips of bacon and wrap it around. And then I have the oven preheated to 400. I'm going to cook them for about 20 minutes, and I think that'll be good. And then I will show you before and after they are in the oven. If you have cream cheese, this would be the spot to put cream cheese as well. That's always super tasty, but I have not found any, so we're going to use regular cheese. Here they are before they go in, and I did cut the bacon a little bit weird because as I was about to wrap the first one, I thought, I'm going to eat all of these for dinner, and I probably don't need to eat 10 slices of bacon, and I probably don't even need to eat 5 slices of bacon. So these 2 down here are wrapped up with half a slice of bacon, and the rest are a quarter slice of bacon because that's just how the bacon math added up. I would say half a slice is perfect if you're just going to make these for appetizers. But like I said, I cut all of these into a fourth of a slice, and it'll be just fine. I mean, as long as it cooks up and I can eat them and enjoy them, they'll be delicious. And I'm going to put them in the 400-degree preheated oven for about 20 minutes and see how they're doing after that. And here they are out of the oven. Like I said, I just had them in at 400 for 20 minutes. The bacon's cooked. It's not super crispy, but I don't like my bacon super duper crispy. If you do, maybe leave it in just a few minutes longer, but the jalapenos are nice and soft, the cheese is melted, and these are going to be delicious. For me, it is currently 8:30 in the morning, but I have to go to work for a few hours, so I'm going to prepare some lunch for when I get back. And it's just going to be a pretty basic soup. So in here I have cut up a little bit of ham from the big ham that I found a while ago. I have to start freezing it, I think. It still looks good, but won't last too much longer. And then the base is gonna be the broth that I made. I haven't used this yet, and I know this one's gonna be good, so I'm excited about that. There's gonna be some of the white beans that I pre-warmed up and then have been just soaking in this water. Some sliced carrots, some baby spinach. This is frozen, so it's gonna be really wilty and soft. I have some celery that I chopped up. I'm hoping that gets soft as well. I have lentils. All I'm going to do is rinse these and then just put them in, and again, hope that it works out. I think it should because it says on the back, simmer gently with lid tilted until desired tenderness is reached, 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm not going to simmer it. I'm just going to put it on low, but it's going to be much longer. So I think it'll be okay. And then in here, I forgot that I had potatoes frozen, honestly. I'm not going to use those, although maybe I will. But underneath that is onion. So I'm going to use some of that as well. And I'll let you know what it looks like when I get it all in, and then obviously when it's done as well. Here we are. I'm just going to put it on low for a few hours and hope for the best. I'm assuming it'll be nice and tasty. Definitely nice and hearty. I kind of put a lot of lentils in here, so hopefully those work out, but I'll let you guys know. Here's the finished soup. I have it just with a piece of the focaccia bread that I found as well. Great little side, I suppose. Really nice and cooked down. Really hearty and satiating soup. The lentils aren't soft per se, but they're definitely softened. So if you were to make this, I would probably cook it just a little bit longer. I had it on about for 3 hours on low. But everything else, even the lentils, are delicious, and this will definitely keep me full for the rest of the night. So the next recipe I'm going to attempt is a bread pudding for dessert or breakfast or just whenever I'm feeling it. So right here in my little casserole dish that is also from dumpster diving, I have 3 of these blueberry muffins that I got in the Aldi dumpster, just broken up, and I have about 2 tablespoons of butter melted and put over that. And then I'm going to mix together some of the milk, probably 3 eggs, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure about rice pudding. I might add a little bit of the rice pudding in there because it has a really nice vanilla-y sweet flavor. Mix that all together, drizzle that on top, and then this looks a little bit rough right now, but I'm going to add some of the blueberry compote that I made last video, the last cooking video, and put that on top as well. So then I'm just going to let that sit for about an hour and then bake it. But I'm going to mix this all together and I will show you that. So I ended up using about 1 1/4 cup of milk, about 3/4 cup of the rice pudding, and 4 eggs, and I whisked that all together. I didn't use any cinnamon just because I didn't think it would fit with the blueberries, but I'm going to pour this over. I might have a little bit too much liquid, but I mean, I want it to be nice and soft. So I'm just going to pour this over, add some blueberries on top, and then let that soak for about an hour. I still think there might be too much liquid, but I will deal with that afterwards. But here it is after soaking before going in the oven. Here it is out of the oven, and the blueberries are heating up over here. Here it is all plated up. Super soft, not too sweet, and then the berries that I made on top will just bring it to the perfect amount. Delicious, that's all I can say. Alright, so this next dumpster meal, I guess I could call it, is super easy. It's just going to be a smoothie. I have about 2 frozen bananas, some pineapple plus a little bit of their juices, the juice of 2 oranges, some blueberries, 4 strawberries, and then a scoop of that green powder that I made. So I'm just going to blend this up and it'll be super tasty. Here that is, and I'm not kidding, for the first time in my life, I made the perfect amount. It filled exactly to the top and I had no extra. So super tasty. Alright, so I'm going to finish out this video finally. I started this video like over 2 months ago. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finishing out with my last recipe here for the day, my last free food find, fun, all that stuff. We're just going to make another green smoothie. I already had like a brunch, and this is going to kind of be my lunch, I suppose. I just have it completely loaded up with spinach and greens, and I have a really big portion of that green powder that I made with all the dried mustard greens and turnip greens and things like that. And then I have some pineapple slices with some of their juice as well that really helps cut the flavor of just plain green. I have about 1.5-ish bananas, and then I have the juice of 1 orange, and I also have a little bit of this light Ocean Spray cranberry juice in there, again to cut a little bit of that earthy green flavor, and then just some water for the rest, and I'll add more if needed. But I might not recommend this. I mean, I make smoothies like this weekly, very often, at least a few times a week. So I'm not going to say I recommend it taste-wise. It doesn't taste bad. It's not something that I like crave, though. But it's an easy way to get lots of healthy greens in. And it's not bad. You know, with all the extra flavors and stuff, it helps, like I said, cut the strict green. So I'm just going to blend this up, and then I will let you know afterwards. Alright, here is the finished product. A little bit hard to see, but it is like a murky brown green color. Again, not the prettiest or tastiest thing in the world. It's not like a chocolate milkshake, but it is, I think it's actually pretty good. It's very fresh and light, and I feel good drinking it. So I am going to enjoy this. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite recipe was from this video, or the one that you would most like to try. I probably won't be able to do one of these videos again for a while, just because it is warm now. And like I said, I started this video months ago, so I do not recommend dumpster diving for meats and stuff in the warm weather unless you're certain that it is safe. But it's fun, you know what I mean? But I can't probably make one of these for a little while because of the warm weather, like I just said. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to check out all my other videos if you haven't seen my channel in a while. I haven't been uploading as often, but I am still uploading, and I can't wait to find some more stuff to share with you. So we're going to call this the end of this video. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Dumpster Cam. And I will be back soon with more dumpster diving, dumpster food, house update, house renovation, all of that fun stuff soon. Thank you so much.